Hey, I'm Mike with USCCA, and I'm sitting here with two of Emerald Stock's new EDC bags, and I'm gonna go through them, test them, see how fast I can draw, and check out the features and all the new items on each. I'm a huge fan of EDC bags, so I'm gonna go through each one of these and put them to the test so that you can make the most informed decision to protect yourself and your family. So I've been running these bags for a long time. This one in particular I've had for a few years. It's got a hidden concealed pocket that I like to use. Now, a lot of people don't use off-body bags for whatever reason. They're afraid the gun's gonna get taken, the bag's gonna get taken. You know, whatever your opinion is, if you are going to carry off-body, you need to train it. And that's typically what I do. That's why we're here on the range today. But you absolutely have to train these bags for the draw, just like you would carrying from here. It's always gonna be a little bit slower drawing from here in an off-body versus drawing from something that's on you. But I brought out the timer just to kind of give you a baseline of how long it's going to take me to get this out of this bag. 2:94 was the time, so 2:94 to get gun out of bag and take my shot on target. That's under perfect conditions. There's no stress. I'm here, I'm ready for a threat, so 2:94 would be roughly the fastest you could get the gun out. We're gonna test the other bags and see if any of the features have changed and made them faster or slower. Now this is the new bag from Emerald Stock. This is the Fade Brief. They have a whole new line of EDC bags. So this is essentially replacing the old one that I just shot. It's a little bit bigger. I can already tell from wearing it. It's about a couple inches bigger in both length and width. So it feels broader, feels a little bit more sturdy. And the materials are very, very different. Much smoother, not that like Cordura kind of nylon. The concealed magnetic pocket where you put your weapon, it's very similar. It's very similar. It's not broken in as much as my old bag, but it feels very similar. It's actually a roomier pocket. So getting in is kind of the same challenge, but once you're in, there's a lot more space. I think you could put a full size or maybe other things inside there. So this bag has a ton of features that I'm really not gonna go over right now because I'm just working on the speed and I'm talking to you about how fast I can get this out. We do have another video you should check out on USCCA that's gonna go through this bag and a few of the other EDC bags, break down the nuances and all of the different features. Let's see how fast I can get this one out. All right, that one was 2.5 seconds. I felt like I got a little bit luckier on that one. It all depends where you grab and how you dive in. I think the fairest assessment is if I'm just walking how I normally walk. Let's try that. That one was 3:24. So what I'm learning from this is it's pretty much the same speed draw. The opening is about the same. They're both magnetic openings, which are really nice for concealing, a little bit slower to get out than maybe something that just has a big zipper pull. But I kind of prefer it because it really conceals your weapon and gives you the ability to move into places that maybe otherwise you wouldn't. Having a bag like this really does not say, hey, I'm carrying a weapon. It kind of just says, hey, I'm going to the coffee shop and I'm going to do some work on my computer.
Hey, I'm pausing the video right now to let you know about a free giveaway that USCCA has going on right now. Check out the link below for all the details, and let's get back to the video.
So the first way I was carrying the bag over the shoulder cross body, it's like the least prepared way to carry, kind of like level 1. The next step of going a little bit faster is actually having your hand on the handle, carrying it like this. Having it lifted up keeps the opening much more rigid and it's faster to get into. So I'm gonna show quick time on going fast from this and you'll see the times drop just a little bit. All right, that first shot went off in 2:24. That first shot went off in 2:24. Significantly faster than going crossbody and pulling it around. All right, on that first shot went off in 2:08, so significantly faster to get that first shot out. 0.75 to an entire full second faster to go from holding it here versus holding it over the strap. Now, what is prep level 3? Well, prepping level 3 is essentially having your hand on the gun inside the bag like this. And to the outside world, you're just holding things inside your bag. There's nothing going on. You're not brandishing. You're not showing any kind of a weapon, but you are much, much faster from level 3, just being ready to go. And in a different class of bag, we have the sling bag. This is the Fade Sling from Eberlstock, another of their EDC bags in this line. These have become pretty popular with EDC, and a lot of security guards you see wearing these, and every time I see a person standing in front of a building with a bag like this, I think, well, there's a gun there. They blend in, I think, a little bit less than maybe the brief bags. They added a really big, nice pull tab that's like a macro gross motor skill, just grab and zip. First test will be from the least ready, so on my back, then I'll have it from the chest, and then I'll do something similar where I'll prep it, hand in, ready to go. It actually works really well. It's very, very intuitive, the grab. That was 3-2-3. 3-2-3, so that was very similar, that was very on par with the speed of the brief bag that was slung on my side. Having this extra zipper makes one hell of a difference that the previous bags I've tested, not all of them have this. And when you're looking, when you're grabbing, we did a video on this where Zach and Angel were kind of beating the crap out of me on the mats to see how I could fight in close quarters with these bags. And one of the hardest things to do was actually using hands under stress, is grabbing these tiny little zippers. Absolutely impossible when you're getting hit in the face. And I got hit in the face many times over this. Something like this, where as I grab, I don't feel for it, I just like gorilla grab and I pull and it opens. Really, really important to have, really, really important feature to put on EDC or kind of fighting bags. Okay, now let's just start from if I was wearing it on the chest. So call this like level 2 readiness. Level 2 readiness meaning I'm just one more step ready to fight a threat. Where would I perceive a threat? I don't know, I'm walking down the street and somebody looks suspicious, or you know, I am a guard on duty and I'm expecting a potentially hazardous moment. So I'm standing here like this, ready to go. All right, that time was 2:24, 2:24. And once again, that is very similar to the brief in terms of speed. Very consistent times in level 1 and level 2. Let's try one more time to give it a fair shot. Okay, I went a little fast on that one. The first shot came out a bit quick and I missed, but it came out at 2:12, 2:12. I think I did something similar on the last test with the briefcase. So level 2 readiness, level 1 readiness, very similar in terms of draw times, draw speed. This one feels, compared to the other bag, this one feels a little bit more consistent in that I grab and pull, and there's no snags. I felt very much on the briefcase, because the magnetic opening and closing, sometimes it was much smoother than others. This one consistently feels the same every time, and that's kind of a nice thing. I feel like I can depend on my times. All right, for the third test, I'll do something similar where I'm not brandishing. I'm just simply have my hand inside my bag. It's still concealed, so I am still following the law in terms of not exposing my weapon, but I'm prepping. So when would you be at this like level 3 readiness? Well, somebody is coming down the street and they look like they want some trouble, or you're in an environment where maybe a fight is breaking out and you feel like you may be involved or maybe having to intervene soon, or a guard, similar thing, fight breaks out or some kind of conflict is starting and you just want to be extra ready. So this is how I'm standing right here. So this is how I'll be standing for the test. Hit the buzzer. That was 0.76. So much faster than, you know, 99% of people's standard draw times out of like regular holsters, let alone a concealed holster. That is very fast. Hand is on the gun, everything's prepped. All you have to do is meet the touch point and push out. What I noticed though is as I pull, if I don't have downward force on the bag, I could pull the bag with me, so I need to keep downward force on this bag. All right, hopefully I was able to debunk for some of you naysayers out there about off-body bags that you can actually be just as fast with an off-body bag as you can from concealed. It just depends on your levels of readiness. So if I'm walking around just casually wearing the bag as it's normally supposed to be worn and something happens and catches me by surprise, yes, of course, I'm gonna be a little bit slower than if I draw from appendix. But if there are warning signs and indicators, which most threats have, you know, a little bit of time of some kind of indicators, threat indicators, then I can make it just as fast or faster by prepping, remember, level 1, 2, and level 3 threat levels. So if you want to carry an off-body bag, really it comes down to a couple different things. It comes down to what type of bag you want to carry. And then it also comes down to how much you train that bag. Remember, we got to train the heck out of these things, because every time we're on a range, regardless if we're concealed or not concealed, we are practicing our draws. So we always get that draw training. But we don't get that draw training from bags. So that's something you really have to take the time out of your day and your range training and have it purposeful. The nice thing is you can do it at home. You can dry fire draw these bags, whichever you choose. I really liked the changes that Eberl made, especially to the bag that I've carried a lot. They've taken all of the features that I liked, kept them, and then added more onto it. The times were the same. And the sling bag. I think the sling bags in general are a little bit more obvious, because typically you see guys in the tactical space and security guards wearing them. But regardless, it's still concealed and it's fast to get out. Relative to having a bag. So really good things coming from Eberl. Something to note, we do not get sponsored or any kind of payment from Eberl. We bought these bags on our own just to test them, and we really like them. If you would like to see more gear, more bags, let us know in the comments section what you'd like to see. And any of you companies out there that want us to test your bags, let us know. Hit us up on the comments or reach out directly, and we'd love to test your bags and see what we can do with them. If you like what you saw, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And as always, continue training, because that's how we move forward and that's how we progress.